You can spend the whole day sitting still, barely moving, and still feel like your body has been running from something. You did not climb a hill, carry wood, chase food across a valley, or fight anything with teeth or claws. You sat in a chair, looked at a screen, answered a few messages, opened a few tabs, and somehow ended the day exhausted. And the strange part is that nothing dramatic happened. No disaster arrived, no predator entered the room, and no one asked you to lift something heavy. Your body was almost motionless. So why did it feel so tired? That question is uncomfortable because it makes modern exhaustion look invisible. When a person runs, the tiredness makes sense. When a person works in the sun, the tiredness has a shape. When a person carries stone, digs soil, or walks for hours, the body can point to the reason. But when a person spends the day indoors under clean lights, holding a rectangle of glass, the exhaustion becomes harder to explain. It can even start to feel like a moral failure. Maybe I am lazy. Maybe I am weak. Maybe I did nothing and still could not handle it. But the brain has a quiet problem. It does not measure work only by movement, it also measures signals. And modern life is made of signals. A notification is a signal. A message you have not answered is a signal. A screen glowing in the corner of your eye is a signal. A choice between 10 possible meals is a signal. A news headline is a signal. A face in a video call is a signal. A small red dot on an app is a signal. A task you promised to finish later is a signal. A sound from another room is a signal. A comparison with someone else's life is a signal. Even silence can become a signal when the brain is waiting for the next interruption. The body may be still, but the nervous system is not still. It is listening. It is filtering. It is predicting. It is asking what matters, what can be ignored, what might become a problem, and what needs a response right now. Most of this does not feel like work because it happens below the surface. You do not consciously feel every tiny decision your brain makes. You simply feel the bill at the end. The ancient human body was built in a world where many signals were physical and direct. Clouds meant weather. A track in the dirt meant an animal had passed. Smoke meant fire. A sharp sound in the grass meant possible danger. A hungry stomach meant food had to be found. A tired leg meant the body had moved. A dark sky meant the day was ending. This world was not easy. It was dangerous, uncomfortable, and often brutal. But many of its signals had edges. They came from somewhere. They pointed to something. They often ended when the event ended. If the animal left, the danger changed. If the food was found, the hunger changed. If the fire was built, the cold changed. If the sun went down, the day changed. The nervous system could still suffer, but the world often gave it visible things to answer. Modern life gives it something stranger. A threat can be a sentence on a screen. A social danger can be a delayed reply. A future problem can live inside a calendar invite. A feeling of rejection can appear as a missing notification. A sense of failure can come from watching someone else succeed in 15 seconds. And none of these things has to be physically present to affect the body. The brain can react to symbols almost as if they are events. A tiny icon can pull attention like a sound in the bushes. A message preview can feel like a hand tapping the shoulder. A news alert can place a distant crisis inside your room. A feed can turn other people's lives into a wall of silent measurement. This is one reason doing nothing can feel so tiring. You may not be doing one large task. You may be doing hundreds of tiny, unfinished ones. Look at an ordinary modern morning. Before the body has even fully woken, the brain may meet weather, messages, emails, headlines, reminders, battery icons, calendar blocks, and the lives of strangers. Each thing is small. Small enough to dismiss, small enough to say it should not matter. But the nervous system does not only count size. It counts switching, it counts uncertainty, it counts unfinished loops, it counts the pressure to respond. Attention is not just a spotlight. It is also a gatekeeper. All day, that gatekeeper has to decide what gets in. Ignore this sound. Read this message. Do not forget that task. Check who reacted. Wonder what that tone meant. Choose what to eat. Choose what to watch. Choose what to say. Choose when to stop. The old world had choices too, but modern comfort often hides the cost of choosing. A person can sit on a couch and still be surrounded by decisions. One tab asks for work, one app asks for friendship, one screen asks for entertainment, one message asks for emotional labor, one algorithm asks for another minute. The body is not running, but the mind keeps changing rooms. Every switch has a little cost. Every open loop leaves a tiny hook in attention. By evening, nothing looks heavy, yet everything feels heavy. This is not the same as saying modern life is worse in every way. Most people would not trade medicine, shelter, safety, and food for the ancient world. The point is not that the past was peaceful. The point is that the present can be strangely noisy without looking noisy. A room can be quiet while the mind is crowded. A day can be comfortable while the nervous system is braced. A person can be alone while still feeling watched, measured, reachable, and late. That is a strange kind of tiredness. It is not the clean tiredness of walking a long distance. It is the foggy tiredness of never fully arriving anywhere. No moment clearly begins. No moment clearly ends. Work leaks into rest. Rest leaks into work. Daylight leaks into night through screens and bulbs. Other people's voices leak into the private room. The brain keeps scanning because the world keeps whispering. And scanning is ancient. Long before humans had inboxes, they had to notice patterns. They had to read faces, tracks, weather, distance, silence, and movement. That ability helped humans survive. But a survival tool can become exhausting when it never gets to turn off. The same brain that once watched a dark tree line now watches a glowing lock screen. The same body that once listened for danger now listens for a vibration on a table. The same social mind that once studied a small group now studies endless faces, numbers, opinions, and reactions. So the exhaustion is not imaginary just because the danger is abstract. Abstract things can still move the body. A thought can tighten the chest, a message can raise the pulse, a future deadline can make a quiet afternoon feel unsafe. A comparison can drain energy without touching a muscle. This is why rest can stop feeling like rest. A person lies down, but the mind keeps checking. A person closes the laptop, but the unfinished task stays open inside the head. A person turns off the light, but the screen has already taught the brain that night is negotiable. The old boundary between doing and not doing becomes blurred, and when boundaries disappear, the body may never receive the message that it is allowed to stand down. Maybe this is one of the quiet losses of modern life. Not just silence, but believable silence. Not just darkness, but a darkness the brain trusts. Not just free time, but time without invisible demands attached to it. Not just comfort, but completion. A completed walk, a completed meal, a completed conversation, a completed day. Modern life often replaces completion with continuation. There is always another message. There is always another tab. There is always another update. There is always another version of yourself you are supposed to become. And somewhere inside all of that, a very old body is trying to understand what kind of world this is. It knows how to recover from running. It knows how to recover from carrying. It knows how to recover from cold, hunger, and visible effort. But it may not know how to recover from being reachable all day. It may not know how to recover from 1,000 tiny signals that never become one clear event. It may not know how to rest inside a world that keeps asking for just a little more attention. So maybe the question is not why you feel tired after doing nothing. Maybe the question is what your brain has been doing while your body appeared still. Maybe it has been sorting a storm of signals that no ancestor ever had to carry. Maybe it has been treating invisible noise as unfinished survival. Maybe you are not tired because you did nothing. Maybe you are tired because somewhere deep inside you, your body has been trying to survive a world made of invisible noise.